పార్లమెంట్లో బీజేపీ ఎంపీ పురంధేశ్వరి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రసారం ద్వారా చూద్దాం.
For time that the nation's liberation was their liberation. When the moment had come to pen the founding charter of this republic, India was blessed with an architect of extraordinary vision. I speak of Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar. Baba Saheb firmly believed that freedom proclaimed without equality guaranteed is no freedom at all. Therefore, at this very founding moment of this republic, he did not ask the women to wait, but he placed equal rights and equal opportunities for women as the very foundation of our constitution. So every woman sarpanch, every woman judge, every woman officer, and for that matter, every woman parliamentarian stands on that very foundation that Baba Saheb had laid. As proud citizens of this republic, we bow our heads in deep and enduring gratitude to him. This, madam, is not a reform that appeared suddenly before the House. It faced an arduous journey, a long and unfinished journey. Its early traces go back to even before independence, when the Government of India Act was made in 1935, which provided limited space for women representation. The question, however, did not disappear with the attainment of freedom. It travelled along with our republic, waiting for resolution. The decisive moment had come in 1989 when a constitutional amendment was passed in this House, yet could not be completed. The moment, however, did not fade. Under the leadership of Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the issue was brought back with clarity and with conviction, and bills were introduced in 1998 and 2002, ensuring that the demand for women's political representation remained firmly on the national agenda. There have been many instances where women's reservation bill was brought forward but was shot down. The historical reality is that in 1998, the RJD MP Surendra Prakash Yadavji, he physically tore the bill right on the floor of this Parliament House. The leaders of the then stalwart leaders of the Samajwadi Party too, they very categorically had said that they did not support the bill, and it is rather astonishing that today we have Akhilesh ji say that they support the bill. In the meantime, madam, India had made a bold institutional shift through the 73rd and 74th Amendment, opening the doors of grassroots democracy for its women in rural and backward areas. The country witnessed something spectacular. It only said that when given an opportunity, women did not merely participate, they led, they governed, and they transformed. Yet at the level of the Parliament and the state legislatures, the journey remained incomplete. Efforts continued across years, across governments and across debates, even culminating in the passage of the bill in Rajya Sabha in 2010. But the final step remained out of reach. In this context, the position being taken by the opposition today should be examined carefully. The only thing in my perception that is left for the opposition to oppose is that it is being delivered by a government they did not form. This is not a constitutional argument, but it is a political stance, and the women of India can see the difference. If women's reservation has already been settled, as Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji had mentioned in her editorial, and if the party demanded the implementation in 2023 itself without conditions, then what exactly is the Congress opposing today? They need to explain. And that is why this moment matters, because today, through the Constitution's 106th Amendment Act 2023, this House is not merely passing a law, but it is completing a journey the nation began decades ago. It is rather disappointing, madam, to see the attitude of the opposition parties. What is being characterized today as undue haste is in fact the same very urgency the opposition itself demanded not long ago. It is therefore difficult to reconcile how the same urgency is now being interpreted as a matter of concern. 2023, their words were, implement it now, no need for census and delimitation. 2026, their very words are, how dare you implement it without census and delimitation. When Congress demanded it, it was urgency. But when Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji delivers it, it becomes haste. Sonia ji herself issued statements in favor of the bill multiple times, but were empty statements and not backed by any action. I was listening intently to the deputy leader of the opposition, who raised the question as to when the Women Reservation Bill was passed in 2023, why was it not implemented until now? The opposition had 27 years to implement it themselves. The Women Reservation Bill had first come in 1996. The UPA had been in power for a whole decade from 2004 to 2014, and the Rajya Sabha had passed it in 2010. 4 consecutive years, 2010, 2011, 2012 and 2013, the bill, after being passed in Rajya Sabha, was never introduced in the Lok Sabha. Therefore, the issue in the House today is not one of delay, but it is one of conviction. A legislature, madam, without a women representation, making decisions without hearing half the evidence is not governance, but it is an educated guess. And women of this nation deserve better than an education guess. Madam, the issues that have been, or the concerns that have been raised here about the southern states losing the number of seats, justice to the South Indian states is sought to be met by proposing a pro rata increase based on the 2011 census and by ensuring that the Lok Sabha constituencies would increase by 50% as has been outlined by the Honourable Home Minister himself. This would ensure that the southern states would not lose the absolute number of seats. And by adopting the 2011 census as the baseline, there would be less disruption to the existing political balance rather than depend on the higher population growth figures of the north. Madam, I say it with complete conviction that the Delimitation Bill 2026 provides answers, and Section 5 guarantees that representatives from various states would be nominated by their speaker to sit at the table when every boundary of the constituencies are being drawn. Section 9 guarantees public hearings in every state before the single order is finalized. Therefore, no state is voiceless and no voice is left unheard. Yatra naryantu pujyante ramante tatra devataha. Where women are honored, divinity dwells. This is the very sentiment that was reflected in the words of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, in the words of Swami Vivekananda, when he said that the progress of a nation is measured not by its GDP, ma'am, just 2 minutes, not by its GDP or power, but by how it treats its women. History is being written today in this chamber, and history will record every name, those who are willing to open the doors for the fairer sex and those who choose to keep it shut. Looking beyond politics, I know on which side of history I stand. Looking beyond politics and supporting the passage of these bills, madam, we need to remember that even as we pass them and even as we support them, we are standing for our mothers who gave their everything and asked for little. We are standing for our daughters who are watching and waiting. And we are standing by the women who stood at the threshold and were turned away. And last but not the least, we are standing by Baba Sahib Ambedkar, who wrote the law and made this moment possible. Jai Hind.